Hello again. This morning in my quiet time, I was thinking about kind of work that I do and the projects that I do, and I realized that sometimes the things that I'm doing are for other people. And I'm not talking about clients or, people who are paying me to do their work. I just do them with other people in mind, which is fine. That's not a bad thing to do, but sometimes it's at the expense of doing the work that I really want to do. So today I'm going to do something that I really want to do. I love patterns and I love prints and how all those colors and images work together. So I thought today I would make one. So stay tuned and you can watch how it all came together. My camera was doing something really strange and turns out it was the SD card was running out. So anyway, all right. I want to put in some other colors. So I'm kind of leaning towards, well, I'm doing bright colors, so let's see. And this has no real design plan. I'm making it up as I go along, which might or may not be a very good idea, but I wanted to just kind of give it a try and, see what happens. Do I want more yellow? I think I'll make these into more than they are. I always want to do the flowers away from me, but they with this kind of brush they look more like a flower if I pull the brush toward me. So I'm going to remind myself to do that. So what I've been doing lately, in case you're wondering, or have probably not given me a second thought, but that's okay. I've been kind of rethinking a whole bunch of things about my art business. I like that way better. I do. In fact, I almost want to make something else of the pink ones. However, let's not rush into it. Okay, now I want some turquoise ones. Some really nice turquoise. Let's see. I don't know what this was cut off of, but let's try this turquoise. This is pretty vibrant, isn't it? I think I might want more of an aqua. Can you see that? That's what I want my background to be. I love that color. The other color, I've also got this one, which is kind of tiny. Let's see. That's really pale. It's beautiful. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Colors are such a big part of my life. That's beautiful too. Okay, before I go there, I'm going to make some little pink things. No, what am I going to do? Am I going to do pink in the background or blue? I'm going to do blue in the background. Okay, so I want some of these neon-like colors. That is gorgeous. And let's see what this one is. I haven't used these for a long time, so I'm kind of wondering. That one's more orange. Don't think I want that. This one looks red, but look. Oh, it is red. That's not the one I want. It's this one. Yes, that's the one. Okay. Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay. Let's just do some, I know. I'm going to get a smaller brush, this one. Get it good and wet here. Where's my little spray bottle? I think I took, oh, here it is. This helps. Well, it helps when you do it, right? Come on. There. Okay, I'm going to just put some little circles that sort of resemble a flower. Doesn't matter to me if they don't. But the color, oh my goodness, it's just divine. Those are cute, super cute. I think I'll put a lot of them. Now, going around all this stuff is going to be a bit of a challenge, but you know, there's something so soothing about just putting paint on paper. So if you're staying away from using watercolors because you think that you don't have talent or you don't know what to paint, just like make little circles. It's so easy and so pleasant. I love this. The more color that goes on, the more I like it. Where else can I put them? You know what? I think I might have to resort to just making sort of dots. No, that's not working. I actually want them to be a little bit more of a something. So that means I'm going to have to make small ones in these little spaces. Even if they're not perfectly even. There's a certain amount you can fix by just using a graphics program. So I used to use Photoshop, but then you couldn't buy the program anymore. So I went to Affinity. You couldn't buy I had the program, which I bought years ago, but it was starting to not work very well on my computer. So then I went, okay, well, maybe I'll buy it again, but then they changed to a subscription deal. And I'm like, I don't want to pay that much every month, particularly because I'm paying in Canadian dollars. It's not very strong against the US, so you end up paying so much more money than they're asking, like 35–40% more. I'm going to leave that. I think that might be enough of those. Okay, any blank kind of spaces? Maybe another one here. You can just get carried away, you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, besides clean out this brush, I'm going to use this one, which is a little bit metallic actually. I don't think I need this. I'm going to move this one because it's easier to use my right hand over here on the right side. I haven't done watercolor for quite a while because I've been concentrating on my acrylics, and believe me, they are so different. But sometimes, like, I've been a watercolorist for decades, so and I never quit watercolor. I never quit watercolor, period. I just didn't quit it. All right, so I have my paint here. This way, you see, I can make a big puddle of it, but since I'm not mixing this paint, it's easy to just work on it like this. So I'm going to start. Some of these are still wet. I can see the moisture in here. So the yellow ones are mainly wet. So I'm just going to turn this around, and I'll probably turn it around quite a bit. And I'm just going around these things. I don't really want to touch them, but if I do, that's okay. Watercolors, believe it or not, are pretty easy to move around until you dry them. And even then, some of them are. So the reason that some are and some aren't is that some are pigments and some are stains. So if you think of a pigment as a liquid with powder in it, mixed into it, those are the ones you can move. And The stains are like a stain on your clothes. Once it's in there, it's not going anywhere. Now, one of the things I love about watercolor is watermarks. So part of it dries and then the moisture runs back into it and you get that watermark, which is really distinctive for watercolor. Now this is going to take a little while, so I'm going to work on it and then I will come back on when I'm done. Okay, here it is with the background done. Now I can go in and go, okay, what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? And hold it up and have a good look at it. And one thing that stands out to me is this color looks too dull. So I'm going to rectify that by using this color, which is much brighter. And if I put a little, pull up a little more paint, see that? I love that color. Okay, I am going to just, again, spray some water in there. I won't need as much of it as I have for the blue, but I'm just going to go on these and just put some lines like this, just to kind of jazz them up a bit. And then I'll see what they look like. See, you can always change your mind. And watercolor isn't like acrylic in that with acrylic, if you don't like it, you can paint over it. But with watercolor, if you don't like it, you can usually add to it. So you can tell that this doesn't actually cover up this color. It just adds something. And again, I'm trying to get things kind of going in different directions here. But see how that just kind of perks it up? I like that way better. And even here, I want a bit more color in there. Okay, the other thing that I discovered, I figured out, is I can probably perk up the color on these. Now, I'm just, because it's springtime maybe, I'm totally into really bright colors. So I'm going to go into some of these and then just, the ones that are a little on the pale side, just give them another little brush stroke or two, because that makes them look more like a flower for one thing. Not that they have to, but I like the bright color, and I mean, I like the watered down color as well, but I really like this bright. Give me bright. After a very gray winter, and frankly, quite a few gray spring days, I'm into bright, especially pink. I'm in the mood for pink. The other color I'm going to use here is this one, which I don't know if this is yellow or green, and it doesn't matter, but this is the color it comes out as. So I am going to just put a few little streaks like this on these yellow flowers and kind of perk them up a little bit. Trying to get this going in the right direction. I don't know why that looks that funny color, but it comes out looking right. So I guess this is kind of neon yellow. Now the other thing I can do is when I put it into my graphics program, I could actually brighten up all these colors. But it's kind of fun to paint them on, and I love these neon brights that I have, so why not use them? I mean, that's why I bought them, right? Doesn't hurt to go over them, because watercolors dry transparent, so sometimes it looks good when it's wet and then it dries and it's like, oh, that didn't do much after all. Just like these pink things here, the leaves, because that's one of my brighter watercolors, but against some of these ones, it's like, oh, that's not very smashing, is it? Now I could go any number of ways with this. I could take another color and go through it all and put dots in it, and I might. I love dots. In fact, I did this one recently. I'm going to be working on it soon to put it on some products, and so I could go through and put dots on here just to make it busier, and I actually kind of like that idea. So, but you know what I'm going to do is just sit on it for a while. I usually put it up on my piano, or somewhere where I can look at it on my easel maybe, and then look at it from a distance and see if it all works and if it needs anything. And then work with my graphics program and see how that looks too. So please do try watercolors. Don't be intimidated by them. You can get little sets like this. This actually didn't have these ones. It was just these ones, which I bought because they're kind of pastels, and I love pastels. When I was traveling, I took this and I went, you know what? I need more colors than this. So when my daughter and I were in Rome, I went to an art store and bought these ones so that I could do more sketching and watercolor stuff. And then we ended up not doing much of it anyway. Anyway, that's a different story. So start small, start inexpensive. A children's watercolor set is fine. A brush like this is great. Go find one at an art store or at Michael's. Michael's actually has some for like $5 or whatever, and they're good. If the brush in the set looks more like it went through a knothole backwards, then don't use that brush. That's all for today, and I'll see you next time.